My name is Ed Rissler, and it's certainly my pleasure and an honor to sit here and talk to my good friend Barry Rice about the many involvements that she's had with Bethlehem Ministry and her work in Haiti. And it's good to see you, Barry.
Ed, thank you. I am so glad to see you. I never get a chance much to talk to you or see you, and
as much as we'd like, I know. How did that sort of work out that you got into helping people, and then kind of a little bit about what drew you to Haiti?
Well, I've always liked to help people.
The first time I ran into you, we were volunteering over at that girl's attention house that was over there.
We started it, yeah.
Right, we started that, and then you gave me a call about what you were doing in Haiti and Bethlehem Ministry.
I went in 1983 with Watkinsville Baptist Church on a school bus to Haiti, and I would never thought I would ever go back there.
Clay had been going down there.
That's the story. That's what got us started. Alex Williams came up to me and he said, Barry, I have a letter from this wonderful priest in Cap Haitian who's looking for someone, preferably a college graduate, to come and live in Haiti. It was Pierre Bruno that wrote this letter. And so when Alex was telling me that, he said, do you know anybody that might want to go down there for a year and live and teach English? I said, I think I know just the person. But I didn't dare to say it myself, you know. So I said, Alex, I'll send Clay down there to you. Well, when he went down there, he and Alex just got along really well. And then we went to Franklin Ferguson, who was the priest at Emmanuel. Right. And it just took off from there. And in 1 week, Clay was gone to Haiti.
So how did you end up getting down there then?
Okay, then he was there in 1985 and 1986. And for Christmas of 85, our family decided to go down and we rode again. We flew down, but this Baptist church was going to go again. And we took all the seats out of the DC-3 and put bags of rice and bicycles and anything that Clay and Pierre Bruno could use. And see, the first time I went, I didn't meet Pierre Bruno. I didn't know him. Oh. And so I didn't know him until Clay got down there. That's where I met Bruno.
That's where you met Pierre Bruno.
Yeah. And we lived in his house for Christmas with his 5 girls and his wife in Cap Haitian. Okay. So it only took us about a week to decide that this was going to be for us. And we started. Pierre Bruno was always a visionary. And he would sort of set the vision, and certainly for Haiti, and then we got really close about doing that kind of work and what he wanted, and then I would be the one up here that would sort of go back and forth, and I wasn't shy about picking up the telephone and asking people. That's one thing in this ministry you have to do, is you have to be able to call and talk.
Yeah. So not anyway, many people can say no to you, so that's for sure.
Oh, well, now that's not always true. We didn't get the name Bethlehem Ministry for 2 or 3 years. I said, well, we'll get people like myself that I know to start going. Pierre Bruno and I were in Limonade, and he always had this dream. He would like to have a clinic there. So I said, well, gosh, how can we work that? And I already had my BS in education. And I said, well, maybe I'll just go get my nursing degree. And then we'll be legitimate and have a license, and we'll get started. Wow. So that's what happened. And I graduated from...
What year was that?
That was I graduated from the Medical College of Georgia in 89.
Okay.
I think, yeah. Because Sarah was still,
That's a while ago.
It's a while ago. I'm not a spring chicken,
No.
And so I'm just bopping right along.
Let's kind of fast forward this. Mm-hmm. So how did it end up going to Terre Rouge?
Okay. Pierre Bruno had always wanted to build something in Terre Rouge because that's where his father was from. How the name of Bethlehem Ministry came up is he had been invited. He was one of the only Episcopal clergy at this time to go to spend 6 weeks in Israel studying walking the path of Jesus. When he came back to our house, he would be doodling all the time on these napkins. Doodle these things. And every time he would doodle something, it was sort of came out to be almost like the Bethlehem Ministry logo that we have now. He said we're going to call it Bethlehem Ministry because Bethlehem means house of bread.
Then at that point, the school wasn't there, the clinic wasn't there, nothing was
was there.
So then you came back, and did you set up the 501c3 of Bethlehem Ministry? Okay.
Real quick. We did it real quickly because we knew that the Presbyterians were there first, and we wanted to work together, and we didn't want to have Episcopal Bethlehem Ministry and Presbyterian Bethlehem Ministry.
Right.
We wanted it to be one, and the Presbyterians, Charlie Henry and Darl Snyder and Malcolm Reed, left a great legacy to First Presbyterian, and Malcolm told Tom that he had to keep on being on their outreach committee because there was too much work being done down there in Haiti. We couldn't just drop it off. And we've had some interesting experiences, and St. Andrews was also very involved at that time too. So really the Episcopalians were the last ones to come on board.
So this structure organization got set up, and then what were the first things you started doing in Terry Reeves under Bethlehem Ministry?
The first thing we did, Pierre Bruno and I, when we drove back one day from Dominican Republic, the roads were so bad and so muddy, and we'd get stuck down in a mud hole. And so we got to Terre Rouge, and his uncle's garage was right across the street. And he came and he said, I think there might be a piece of property that you might be willing to want to look at and see. So Pierre Bruno and I crawled through this hole in the fence. It's where the bakery is now, where the drive is.
Right.
Always kept that there. So we crawled through that hole, and oh, look at this. It was just big. It was big like a soccer field. And I said, I think we could probably raise some money. Let's see what we can do about buying to get that. And Pierre Bruno and I we were going to have the school way up here in one corner and something else in another corner. And that's how we got Rob Fisher involved, because we needed to have a plat made for this whole, everything. And so Rob designed where the school is, and Pierre Bruno wants to have all these squares. We said, no, we're going to have some round. We're going to be different. And he and Barbara and Josh Coons, and they went down there for a week and laid out all of that. When you work with Pierre Bruno, you have to be able to move quick in one direction. Well, he wanted to have the school, and then he wanted to have the clinic. We knew that we were going to have to do something because there was no medicine, nothing in Northeast Haiti at all, really, much to speak of. And so we just decided that that's what we were going to have to do. Plus, they had the earthquake. There was such love there, and people helped everybody. What Bethlehem Ministry, what the clinic did, we had a big truck. Pierre Bruno had a big truck, and we would load that truck with water and all kinds of supplies and go take it after the earthquake, ride down there, take all the supplies out, and we would put people in and bring them north. And so then we sort of took care of them during that time. They were going to tell us what they needed, and we would try our best to do what we could do. And we had the community advisory board, and they would come with their hats on like they're going to a meeting. It was a big deal to be on that board. I'm telling you, Andy Cook and Tom, they're the ones that raised the money for the second floor.
Second floor at the clinic.
Second floor of the clinic, yeah.
Wow.
And that was, First Presbyterian did all of that. People are really wonderful when they know there's a need. Most people will step right up. That's been my experience. If you do things that you've been called to do, and it's a kind of a natural thing, you don't mind telling the story, and it usually works. The best part of all of this whole crowd is everybody's transparent.
Yeah.
You can't fool anybody. I mean, I have got a lot of different stories, to tell about different things that I would never think I myself would be doing. Like we went up to Grand Bazin one time chasing cataracts. And Dr. Carmel Lucian is the ophthalmologist.
Right.
And Pierre Bruno said we would never get her to work and be on the board or do anything. I said, oh, you just watch. And so Dr. Carmel, so Gary Fleming and I, she was going to Port-au-Prince to do something, and we were going to all fly out somewhere. And so Gary said, we're going to convince her that she needs to come and be the medical director. Well, guess what? She said yes. And that's what got our ophthalmology program going, which turned out to be very successful.
This is sort of your legacy. I mean, to put it in some words like that. What are your sort of hopes and dreams for the future of the ministry and what's going on down there?
I think my biggest legacy, would be for people to love one another. Like love, let others voluntarily evolve. Don't go to Haiti expecting that our idea is the right one. We'll be glad to help in any situation that we can. But I would love for the clinic to really either grow larger or grow different. My real rêve grand is, dream big, is to have a MASH unit, which is like the
a mobile
yeah. But I would like for it to be big enough that it would be 2 surgeries and 2 recovery rooms. If we had places for surgery, we could make a little bit of money. But what we would do is we would probably bring the doctors from up here to teach some of the doctors down there, which the orthopedic clinic has been doing.
Yeah.
And if we could get that to happen, and maybe the doctors would like to pay us let them have the privilege of going down there.
What would you like to see happen?
What would I like to see happen? I would love if there would be $1 million that somebody would like to give. And we would just carry on. I'm sure that it's going to work out, because God didn't leave all this ministry just to be, he just didn't leave us to dump off in some place, so it's got to come full circle somehow or another.
What other few other pearls of wisdom which you would like to share?
The Haitians are some of the most wonderful people I've ever met, really. And they're so good, and so I don't want them just to be dropped off somewhere. But I think that they can be an inspiration to us.
Right.
But we need to keep this spirit going. That's what we have that's going. And knowing Pierre Bruno, he prays about everything. Well, we need some of that wash up here too. And so my real hope would be that we could continue, maybe not in the way that it looks now, but we could be open to different ideas. Like some of the new board members will come with some different ideas that would be really make things easier for everybody.